Hello, everybody, and welcome to our fourth episode of our series on the Conference on the Future of Europe, where the Institute of the Regions of Europe will talk with young people, especially from all over Europe, to hear what's their mind and their opinion about the progress in United Europe. Today it's the fourth episode, and we will do it again in English because we have participants from not from Austria and not from Germany, but from Romania, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Montenegro, and Kosovo. So Southeastern Europe is very well represented today. And we are Joachim Fritz, my colleague and Secretary General of the Institute of the Regions, and I'm very happy that you took your time during this hot weather to sit at home and talk with us about the conference on the future of Europe. We will talk about a few questions and we will discuss them. So our participants today, our young guests today will talk what's on their mind about Europe. And this talk series is part of our analysis and our project we do together with the European Ministry in Austria, with EU Minister Caroline Edstadler, who will get an analysis of all these series and talks we did, so that she knows from Southeastern Europe and from all over Europe what the youth is thinking on United Europe. So I would say we start. And the first question, it sounds simple, but maybe it is not so simple. So do you think that the European Union is developing in the right or wrong direction? What do you think, Branka?
Just one small correction, because you didn't mention Serbia. Serbia is also one of Western Balkan countries, and I'm from Novi Sad. That's the second largest city in Serbia. Yeah.
I said Bosnia-Herzegovina.
Yeah, that's a different country. Okay, just not to mix it. But of course, maybe we can mention former Yugoslavia, because we have one state together: Montenegro, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Croatia, Serbia also. You asked about the European Union. Yeah, I'm so glad to talk with you regarding this topic, because Serbia as a future candidate for a member of European Union is very important for us, especially the regions in Serbia, like Vojvodina. Vojvodina is capital of, Novi Sad is capital of Vojvodina, so we are pretty much involved in development and participating in projects, European Union projects. So that's very important to be part of the projects with European countries. And I'm working for the University of Novi Sad in academic society. So it's very important to participate, not only for the teachers, but also for the administrative staff, also for the students. And I'm engaged particularly in mobility programs for students. And I can say for last 6 years that students from University of Novi Sad and also from Serbia are very well informed and involved in such a program as a mobility study program in European countries such as Austria, Germany, Italy, and also other European countries. So in this way, I can say that the European Union and projects and participating in these projects is very, very important for us, especially for Serbia and also other Western Balkan countries also.
Okay, thank you for that. You know that next over my computer there is a poster from our conference we had in the province of Vojvodina. So it's
yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Great. It's good to remember such occasions. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Nikolina. What do you think?
Hello.
Hello.
I will try to answer a little bit like directly on your question. So basically, is the EU developing in the right or wrong direction? I would say that EU is developing in a let's say right direction, if that is to say, because I find a lot of good reasons for that. I find a lot of stability on basically on the geostrategical position of all countries. When I say a lot of stability, I don't mean stability that is like full, like 100%, but that is better than it used to be. So, which is also a good sign in my opinion. So, and I find a lot of, let's say, correct in some way correcting, like in terms of climate changing, for example, which is also one of the most important topics. So I think that regarding that few spots that I mentioned, it is going on a good way. And if we lay up on the Western Balkans, I think there is a lot of things that EU can do for us. I would rather assign it as a middle, not really like too good or either too bad. But I think that all of us young people recognize which part EU can help us regarding that Western Balkan point to join either sooner or let's say, yeah, in that sense. So that would be my short answer on your question.
Okay, thank you. Elma, do you agree?
Hello, Stefan. Thank you for inviting me on this online debate. It is a pleasure to be here, and I actually made a presentation out of all these questions. I can share it with you, but I can also answer like this, whatever you want or like regarding this question. So I will share screen, okay?
Okay.
Just to see. But it says like host doesn't let me to share my screen.
Yeah, you need to share host with Elma, Stefan.
Okay, never mind. We don't need it, or I can maybe
send the permission, but I can't.
Wait, I will try to send you on chat because it's the link. Maybe you can open it. I'm not sure.
Okay, I will check it. Yeah.
Okay.
But you can answer in the meanwhile.
Yes, of course. Yes. So about the question, is the EU developing the right or wrong direction? I would say we can agree that there are the things and policies which go in the right direction, and there are things and policies which go in the wrong directions. I will start with the better one, which are the right directions. And in my opinion, I think the right directions are European integration of Western Balkan. As someone who comes from Montenegro, which is a leader in European negotiation with the European Union, I think that this is really we are on a good path, and we did a lot since we became a candidate country. So the other thing which is the right direction, I would say, it's the European Union response to COVID-19 pandemic. The European Commission agreed to distribute the 100 million of vaccines for those countries in need, which I think is really great, and it defends the initial defending the initial purpose of European Union, like every human living has a right for a decent life, and without the vaccine we can't get the normal life anymore. So I think this is the European Union does a great efforts in this regarding this policy. Wrong direction of European Union, I would say that it is lack of direct democracy. When we say direct democracy, we think about the democracy where people have opinion, where people have space to act towards policies they are developed in European Parliament. people don't have this opportunity. They have opportunity this only through the European Citizen Initiative to propose some action and some enforcing laws of the European Union. And as we know, European Union is it has a supranational character. So any law which is adopted, it's directly affecting the citizens of all member states of the European Union. So I think that there could be a better cooperation between citizens and those institutions in the European Union. Also, what is the wrong direction? I think that's the European Union response to migrant crisis. I think after two big crises which happened, economic and migrant crisis, the countries and member states of the European Union has divided. And different and show different opinions and interests. So I think like a common response for this issue would be needed. And I think the European Union actually now try to make young people to act toward this problem, because we just received the email from the university that we can propose some ideas regarding migrant crisis, which can be adopted at the summit of the European Parliament, which will be held in October, I think. So I think that could be a good way to involve young people and to see some fresh ideas how to solve this issue and how to let everyone have the decent life and to have opportunities as European Union citizens have. So that would be my answer.
Okay, thank you. You already mentioned some topics that will be brought up later too, I think. Thank you. Ariana, what's your opinion on the direction of the European Union?
Well, I wouldn't say European Union goes in the wrong direction, but I wouldn't say either that it goes in the right direction. I mean, leaving aside the pandemic crisis and the solutions that they want to find, which is great. I mean, yeah, this is a very good thing, a positive one. But on the other hand, there's too much bureaucracy. For instance, from Romanian point of view, we see just superficial, initiatives on health to help health problems. We have a lot of issues in a lot of sectors, and since we are integrated in UE, we didn't see so many, developments or encouragement, or it's a very superficial help. It's like on image basis, I mean, maybe when when the presidents or let's say the president of UE come to Romania, maybe they should see some of the reality. This is every country. I mean, we talk a lot about the good things, general things, but we should see the real problems in the field. We should see the real problems in the countries, and to try to develop more specific projects that really help people and teenagers and young people. I mean, there are a lot of problems now with I don't know, with traveling, with the university scholarships that I think European Union should involve more. I mean, what I want to say is that they really need to focus more on the field and not, at that level. Maybe they should find some solutions to, to find and to search better on this way.
Okay, thank you for the input. This will, I guess, also be a topic in another question. Thank you. And Vjosa, please.
Thank you, Stefan. Okay, I think that the EU is developing actually in the right direction in terms of the countries that are members of the European Union. In the case of the pandemic, for example, we saw cooperation and solidarity in addition to the member states. That means that the EU has also helped countries that are aspiring to integrate into the European Union, such as Albania, Kosovo, Serbia, and Northern Macedonia. And I mean, this is very good what EU is doing to helping also other countries and having a big solidarity between states that are member of the EU. And but however, I think that they should do more. Actually, they should work more to give the chance also the Balkan countries to be member of EU. For example, the blocking of EU membership negotiations with Albania and Northern Macedonia, and also the visa liberalization process for Kosovo can be seen as problematic. For the EU, I mean, in the last times. So I mean, they have a lot of positive things that they are doing, but also they have to do more on this way to give also the Western Balkan countries the chance to be at the same level with other EU countries.
Thank you. So, because you all mentioned some very important topics, also some critical things, I will push the next question to the end and go directly into the next questions where we should focus more on the topics you also brought up. So we have the questions: what are the most important achievements the European Union made? What do you think there are, or what are for you the best achievements? But also, what is not, or what has not worked well until now, and what is not working well now, like for example enlargement policy or so, but any other topic. So what is most important achievement and where the EU did not succeed until now? Nikolina, please. Microphone. We try to read your
Yeah,
lips.
sorry. I thought you were going. Yeah, okay. So basically, you skipped from the. Can you please repeat your question?
Sure. The question was, what are the most important achievements you think that EU made, and what are the things where the EU is lacking? So, like, what she did not succeed until now.
Yeah, I can start from the last, if you agree, if it's okay for you. But I will relate to the Western Balkans. What I see that is missing from EU is especially just like one thing: youth. I don't see that EU is doing a lot for us, especially for students who are on exchange programs, like the students that go, for example, I just know Elma here, so sorry others. We went to University of Salzburg, then we came back, and then we have problems with finding our jobs. I think that is a big and really, really huge problem, because that is a point where we need EU support. If you don't let like young people work, young people who know something, young people who achieve something in Europe to help our system, then how we are supposed to join European Union in the right direction. That is, I think, the big problem in all Western Balkan countries, because I don't see a young people giving opportunity to work on something or to act towards some problem. Usually we, in most cases, I'm not saying in all, but we got rejected from many job opportunities because we don't have high, let's say, job working days, like, and that could be like 6+ years of experience. That is a point where I see that EU is like a must help for in that point, because EU is definitely working on a lot of points, but if you want to make some change, I think that is the first one to start from. if you change like people who are working in country, then you might have another results. But if you keep the same one and you don't see any step forward, then like what is the point? So that is like one problem that I would separate from a lot of others that we have, and the others would be like still high level of corruption that we have. Let's say, for example, also in Montenegro, but I guess in all Western Balkan countries, that EU also might help. And I think that that problem could also be solved by changing positions, letting people who really know something to work on those positions. I'm not saying that it will change by like 1 month or few months, but I think it's a good step to start from. So yes, and the points that where EU is working good, I would say that would be like stability, generally stability, like between EU countries, I would say. And that's the thing that I saw while having this Corona situation. So I saw cooperation between countries, either about getting vaccinated or let's say promoting good health in that sense. That is a cooperation that is, let's say, in my opinion, good to represent, and it would be better to either work on it more. And also one thing regarding historical part, I see that EU is doing pretty much good. And I would like also to push that on Western Balkan countries, because we still deal with some historical problems and we present them as big ones. And then on the other side, we see, for example, France and Germany that are having like, let's say, pretty much good relationships if you compare it to history. I mean, that's the fact. So I think there is a lot we can work on and learn from that side. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So corruption or fighting corruption and bringing young people into jobs, two critical but very important points where European Union should push more on. Thank you. Elma, how would you see that?
Well, I think like there is more good things that we can be proud of than bad things. I have three in mind. The first is Schengen area, the second is free market, and the third is youth opportunities. Even though Nikolina said some bad truth about finding jobs here, it's not just the situation here, and we are they classify us as a post-COVID generation, and because of the pandemic and because of everything and because of some things Montenegro politics faces at this moment, we have a lack of opportunities in our countries. But that doesn't demotivates me, but I see like European Union gave me a lot in this regard, because I couldn't offer, I couldn't be in Salzburg if I didn't have a scholarship grant, because it's too much from our standards of living. The second is Faculty of Political Science at the University of Salzburg is ranked among top 100 in the world. So it is really an honor to be a student there. Other than that, we had Western Balkan University, Western Europe universities are research oriented. In Montenegro, here are only theory oriented. So I was learning like 500 of pages per test, and for nothing. Any people who want to discover something more about it, they can just write on a Google and just find out those informations. But there I gained experience in methodology, in research, and I gained courage to think critically, to do an experiment, to find out the data which I didn't know before 2 years ago. So I think the European Union did great in this regard about free market. The European Union member states don't have any obstacles or regulations, and your products can be goods and services can be moved from country to country, also with no borders, with not visa applications. You can travel for us, for Montenegro, or for the Western Balkan and the countries which are not in the member states. It's like 3 months before visa. It's even good because I think Montenegro we can classify it as a third world country when it comes to job opportunities and when it comes to European Union finding us a job. They can do that because like they have their citizens of 27 member states. They have so much more experts, but giving the opportunity for gaining knowledge there, to go to trainings, there is also for people who come from Erasmus, there is post-Erasmus depression, and a lot of people feel that because they met a lot of people there, they see a lot of opportunities, and then they come back like step back, not step forward, and they feel the tension because of it. So the European Union has a program which you can go. It's like a volunteering program, but it's paid. It's paid exactly the amount of money as we had for our scholarship. You are doing some good in good services in European Union country. It can be Germany, Austria, whatever you like. You go there, you work at some youth center, you work at some NGO, you gain experience, you gain knowledge, and you have a salary for that. They call it a scholarship, but it's a salary if you compare it to Montenegro standard and or opportunities here. So I think they did a lot regarding this issue, but we have more and other problems here. We need to be a member of a party to get a job. We need to have a lot of experience, and they give us is like sit there and learn those pages, and they don't give us opportunity to work while going to college. So it's not the issue European Union brought us, but issue all countries facing. So that would be all from my side.
Thank you for the input. So I see that especially also from Montenegrin side, the topic of jobs and chances for jobs and experience is really important. Branka, you nodded your head. So how do you see that? What's your opinion on that? What the others said and what you think about the achievements and what should be done better?
Yes, I have to say that there are very good achievements, excellent achievements by European Union, because we so far had a very good integration of Western Balkan countries, especially Serbia, because we are involved in many different programs, European Union programs, and also funds. That is very important. So there is cross-border cooperation funds that are very, very important for us, not only to cooperate with our neighboring countries, but also with the regions, with the Western Balkan region, and also Western Balkan region with Austria and other European countries. So there is integration is very well doing so far. So it would be good to continue in this way. Regarding the Erasmus Plus program, I'm closely involved in this implementation of this project at our university. That's very, very important. And I know so many different experiences from students and also from staff, academic staff or training staff. It's the same. So good impressions, good experiences, and sharing knowledge. That is very important between European countries and the non-European countries. So there is a possibility, such as Erasmus Plus program, to communicate more between students and also between academic staff, and also to develop new projects and ideas. That is very important. As far as we have new projects and ideas together, there will be more possibilities to be involved in development of European Union. So that is very important. So this is about the Erasmus Plus program, but also I know that there are more similar programs like Erasmus Plus capacity building in education part of the development. But I would like to mention that for me and for our country, if I can speak in this position, I would like to mention that the EU policy makers and the involvement of Western Balkan countries in these policymakers should be more better. And in future, I think that policymakers should talk about that and organize such events that will help not only young people, but also people who are involved in my country and in other Western Balkan countries in policymaking, not on a local level, but also national level, to be more involved at the level of European Union. So this is, for me, that's very important. So the conferences, scientific events could help in this improvement also. And I agree with the colleagues regarding the restrictions of traveling for young people, and also for finding a job in other countries. But there are Erasmus Plus program, I'm always mentioning as a good example, that provides students with the possibility to have some kind of traineeship, internships in European countries. So that is the first step to be involved in labor market, I can say. So they can achieve more experiences in very different countries, and also have different experiences and also knowledge. They can share knowledge among them, students or staff, academic staff, administrative staff, it's the same. And also one day, never know, they can apply for a job. That's also a possibility with those experiences and involvement in those programs. So that is the first step, but also I should mention the EU policy, and also regarding the employment. This is the process that will take longer time to discuss about that. So this is the good topic to discuss about, but it's very, very difficult to acknowledge some I don't know, maybe some suggestions, because that is at the level, national level, or at the level of European Union. So let's policymakers to do that. And of course, for young people and also academic or administrative staff or other people to be citizens, to be involved in such events, conferences, or just to be very, very informed in this procedure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. You mentioned Erasmus Plus. Erasmus is really one of the most important programs from European Union.
I cannot hear you.
Yeah, I think that connection lost.
Yeah. My connection?
Can you say again?
Can you repeat it? We couldn't hear you.
We can hear you, Stefan.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, strange. My fault. Yeah, you mentioned Erasmus Plus. It's one of the most important programs and successful programs of European Union. And my former boss was also initiating the Erasmus for Young Entrepreneurs program, where young entrepreneurs can exchange. So it's a step by step, but I think it's very important that
it's very important that the experience and the knowledge is very important. You cannot find a job if you don't have experience in such fields, topics, or that's I know that's very important. From especially we have national agency who are helping us at the national level to implement the Erasmus Plus projects. So we have some kind of workshops at the annually, so every year, 2 or 3 times. So we discuss about this topic all the time. Yeah, we should first gain knowledge, gain experience, and then participate in a much higher level in this EU integration and development. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Because you also mentioned the restrictions of traveling, I guess for you, Vjosa, this is a very not satisfying situation. I think that's a big point also for you as young people in Kosovo. How do you see that? And how do you see the other? How do you see the question of the achievements and where should you be more successful?
Okay, first of all, I want to start always with positive things. So for me, for example, the idea itself of creating the European Union and the way how the union works is the greatest political achievement ever. And of course, we should take it as one of the best examples. Especially we people that are from the Balkans. We can see through this union, for example, we see that France and Germany are working together and they create this, actually this concept of solidarity, not fighting with each other, peace, and more cooperating with each other. And this is actually the best example that we can have. And I think itself, this is the biggest political achievement. And of course, Kosovo is the most isolated country in Europe. And actually, this is very sad because why other countries have the right to travel to Germany, for example, or to other countries, and we not. And I can't understand this, why Albanians from Albania or Serbs can travel and we can't travel. It's just, I can't accept this kind of policy that the EU politicians are doing. And but I think they should, they know the situation, and finally they will change it, or they will actually give the people also from Kosovo the chance to travel to other countries and to be more connected with young people in Europe, and of course with other young people from the region. And yeah, I think they should work actually a lot on this way, but it's not a nice feeling it's not a good feeling to be isolated. Okay, my profession is as a journalist, of course, that I can travel and I can go to other countries, but if I speak, for example, if I see my friends or my family members that they never been in Germany or in other countries just because they are Albanians from Kosovo or just because we are Kosovars, I feel a little bit very discriminated on this field, and I hope that the politicians or the EU countries will decide to give us also the visa liberalization, and I hope they will do it very soon.
Okay, thank you. I think it was one of the first times in the last 40, 50 years when also Austrians experienced how it is to not be able to travel or not to be allowed to travel. And
I think now, after the pandemic time, every country and every person can understand us, how it is to live in a small country for more than 20 years. People that are, for example, 25, they never had the chance to go to visit other countries. And I don't understand this part. I don't understand. Why are we less worth, or how can I say it? Sind wir ein bisschen weniger, haben wir ein bisschen weniger importance? Yeah, and this is actually the reason why I'm sometimes very annoyed from the EU, and they should actually change this isolation that they are doing regarding Kosovo.
Okay, thank you. Ariana, what do you think?
Okay, so now I'm on. Well, if I was listening very careful to what Vjosa said, and she's right. Yes, of course, you had great achievements like, Erasmus programs. It was really nice. There are very good programs. I was part of an Erasmus program, so I know from my experience that is a good one. But on the other hand, they should work more on discrimination, but because still it's a lot of discrimination between UA countries. We feel it like Romanians, to be honest. That's the reality, that's the truth. We see some different policies between the countries. Okay, of course, it's good to maintain our authenticity and our specific of the country, but this is not about the specific, this is about the discrimination that still it is among the countries, and this thing doesn't make UA to be united. This is one of the things that doesn't make like strong European Union. You know, this is the problem. I mean, we see a lot of African countries, a lot of immigrants who comes to Europe, and because we have this discrimination between the countries, it really affects all of us. So maybe there should be more involvement in discrimination UA policies, because I think this is one of the major problems. And in this matter, I think now they should work. They should really act quickly on the problem with, you know, there are countries like Romania who really suffered in this pandemic, you know, time. There are some areas where we stand really bad, and maybe Romania, you know, is not a rich country, and maybe we should help us more and should really come with some funds or some solutions to find quickly some, you know, solutions, policies or something. Because one of the problems of the European Union is that they act very slowly. And I'm giving you the example with CEDO. I mean, CEDO solutions come really late. I mean, there you know, policies who are very delayed. I mean, this is a delayed, this is all the time a delay between, you know, between the proposal and the results. I mean, yeah, but of course there are a lot of great achievements through the time. So I'm sure they will find, because I guess this is the reason they ask us what they can do better and what they should, you know, in order to have and take and bring new achievements. So this is my opinion.
Thank you. It's also very important to talk about the critical things, because we can't live just on the achievements, and we know how perfect everything is, but it's good to talk about the critical things.
I'm sorry, I'm so critical, but you know, there have been like 1 year, one very tough year. I heard a lot. I mean, I work with a lot of people on Zoom. This was maybe a good thing that we started to talk more online with other countries and a lot of people, and I found out their opinions, and it's not that shiny right now. So I'm sorry, now I'm not that positive as I should be. Of course, there are a lot of good things, you know, but still now we can see through the future and find solutions.
And it's just a small comment. I agree with you, Ariana, because if there are not a bad side of some programs or some ideas, we cannot never solve it. We can only work on this. So to maybe improve it or change it. So it's okay. I support you.
Thank you.
And Nikolina, she raised her hands. Please.
Yes, thank you very much, Stefan. Maybe this will raise a debate, but I just want to put a small comment, if I may, on our colleagues.
Sure.
Yeah, I just wanted to say regarding what the colleague from Kosovo said. With all respect, the thing that I notice is that EU is actually doing a lot in terms of Kosovo, and I recognize that especially in prioritizing Kosovo students in all Erasmus exchange situations. than in other Western Balkan situations. I can mention just one where me and Elma comes from, that is like Osijek, where we have like 3 from Montenegro, 1 from Serbia, and 20 from Kosovo. I say that's in a good way, not in a bad way, but I think that EU is doing a really good job in integration of Kosovo. And especially I noticed that while working with you. So I noticed that you visit and that you gain like a really good, respectful relationship with Kosovo and with its embassy, that you really take care of that friendship. So that is the part where I see that the European Union is doing like a good, in a good way. It is really taking care and taking all measures to, let's say, integrate Kosovo and its all constitute into the whole Western Balkan first, and then in whole Europe. So I think that that the European Union really opened its door to whole public, let's say, to whole stage. And one thing also that I noticed, yes, I think that we all have like maybe more critic opinion than the positive, but I think that EU is not like it does not carry the main responsibility for our actions. Like sometimes the citizens, the countries are the ones who need to take actions. It's like basic, example, if I'm standing in front of the pharmacy and I know it's the COVID situation, the people will discuss, okay, why did not government set that the measure that we need to take 2 meters from each other? Do you need every time the government to say something to you, or you will do that by yourself? Like, that's the point. Yes, we can blame, let's say, blame European Union for something, but for all of it, something is in our mentality, and EU cannot change that. Like, EU is the constitute of like all countries. You cannot change the mentality. We need to start like from ourselves first. That was the part what I said, that youth need to come to the stage, and that's why we all went to exchange, and that's why we all deserve places to work.
Yes, I agree, but I think that Kosovo actually they fulfilled more criteria for visa liberalization more than every country in the Western Balkan, and every other country in the Western Balkan has the visa liberalization, and Kosovo not, and this is actually not good. And this is the reason why I'm a little bit annoying why they are just promising for more than 10 years and they are not doing nothing. And this is actually the reason why I'm saying this. But of course that I agree that it's good that also Kosovo is part of the Erasmus program and other cooperation projects, but the reason was that visa liberalization, we should have it because actually we deserve it.
And it shows, Elma raised her hand, but just a short comment. It also shows the problem we have, how we see European Union, because especially the visa liberalization is a good example where European Commission and European Parliament have a clear position, and the third institution, the Council, has a split opinion on that. So European Union is split on this issue. So whose fault is it? Brussels or Pristina or the Council? So it's very difficult, and that's also very difficult for the people to understand whose fault is for something. But just a short comment. And Elma, you raised your hand, please. We are directly in the discussion. Very good.
Yes, I just wanted to mention that I understand a colleague from Kosovo, because I mentioned that the great thing is the Schengen zone, and also for all Western Balkan countries that we can go and stay 3 months, because we don't have opportunity to do that in other countries that are not the part of the European Union. But I understand also Nikolina what she said, like we are the third generation of POSIG, this program, and a lot of people from Kosovo are coming. But it doesn't matter if when they come back home, they don't have any opportunity to go and apply anywhere else. So I understand that, and I think like the beginning of the problem was the failed of European Union constitution, and after that, European Union tried to gain more accountability through the Treaty of Amsterdam, through the Treaty of Lisbon, and the supranational character directly affected the member states, because we know that the European ground was shaking of the wars, and the European people fought for their sovereignty, for their independence through a lot of years ahead. We weren't born that time. And then now there is that supranational character where European Union decides whatever they want, whatever European Parliament and European Commission, and those laws are enforcing. So I think like the problem with Kosovo can be the same problem as the problem with the migrant crisis. Like not all the country have the same interests, not all the country have the same relationships, and not all the country stay together. And I think this questions the initial purpose of European Union, and these questions how united the member states actually are, because those are the real problems that should be put first as a priority and can be solved, I think, easily. But there are a lot of things, and there is a really big bureaucracy in the European Union, which I try to understand even now after a lot of years of education. So I think like everything started with that failed constitution, and then after that, one by one thing happened, and now we have in the European Parliament a lot of Eurosceptic groups, a lot of people who want to leave the European Union, a lot of leaders who gain attention by putting nationalistic ideas of leaving the European Union or leaving the monetary union after the economic crisis, because they don't want to be affected by those issues. They want to have a power to just make a decision within its country, not to have some body which is above them, just to say you do this and those are the laws you should put in force.
Thank you. And you also mentioned that there are different interests, and not every country has the same interest in every topic. That makes it so difficult and also so bureaucratic. And we have now the youngest participant. She or he was crying. I hope not because of the State of the Union. So, but
yeah, no, she
now smiling again.
was crying because she wanted to stay with her mommy. Sometimes I'm during Zoom meetings with her, so she wanted to be part of it.
We talk about the future of Europe, so it's perfect.
Actually, she's the future of Europe.
So we all work for her. Perfect.
I think we could ask her what she wants.
She wants mama, I think, in the first place. So.
Wants boys, actually.
Yeah. Thank you. So we heard about a lot of topics that are very important, like Schengen and free travel restrictions. Job and employment is on a very high priority list. But are there any other topics you think European Union should deal more on, or should be more involved in? I don't know, Green Deal or defense policy or whatever. So what do you think, Ariana? Do you have any other topics that should be more important on the EU agenda?
For instance, I've noticed that there are not that many policies and programs to help entrepreneurs. Of course, it is an initiative, but in my opinion, they should do more on this side, because, you know, of course, the big companies are very important, but you know, the young entrepreneurs are the future of this European Union. And, you know, entrepreneurs means money and means development. I think this is a field that I know that there should be more policies. Regarding defense, I don't know what to say. It depends on every country. And well, yeah, also there's there are some common policies who should be changed in the matter of justice. This is a field where, unfortunately, I had to know for quite some time. So I know there are some policies who need some change, but I cannot say more because I don't know every field. I'm not sure which kind of policies or achievements they should do. But this is something very specific that I know and I could tell you.
Justice and entrepreneurship, two very important topics for everybody. Vjosa, what do you think?
Actually, the colleagues said everything. And I agree with everything they said. So I don't have much to say. So I think I agree with everything they said.
Good. Elma?
Well, when I think, is there any other field that European Union can take an action? And I will say for a Western Balkan country, because I was a part of one project, we with the aim to write regional and green youth charter. And after I saw the numbers of polluted or air is, of our rivers are, and everything else, and we discussed about the Green Deal Agenda 2030. Paris Agreement and all other situations, but because of the corruption, everything which is proposed to us, we don't do, and nothing is solved here. I think that the EU should put more force in this regard. So we don't have any monitoring system for some, let's say, hydroelectronics and PM10 and PM2.5 values, which really affect our health and are responsible for too many causes of death. And Belgrade and Sarajevo last year were the most polluted towns in the world. So I think that that is the big issue here, and we should think also in that direction as well.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, Branka.
I would also agree with this topic about how to be more environmental friendly, especially in the Western Balkan countries, because I think that last 10 years we are so in a low level of this part of the development of European Union. Not that low, but not very well educated, informed. So there is a good need for that to make improvement. But also this is the topic that we can discuss, I don't know, for weeks. But also I would like to mention also medical care, health. It's very important. Especially we are facing with very difficult times, not only Western Balkan countries, but all over the world countries. And now we can see in which level we are developed, this very important part of our field of our countries and also European Union. So I think that this could be a main topic for European Union to develop in further years. So yeah, especially for non-European countries, and to I don't know, to gain some aims and also activities to be more involved, to participate in such projects and programs. And it's not only about the COVID, it's also about the social medical care. And especially in Serbia, I don't want to talk in details, but especially in Serbia, I think that workers in medical care are very in margins of societies, and not that good paid at the state level. So, but also they are very involved in development of some countries, and also I can say also image of one country. If you have good education and medical care, that means that you are good member of some kind of memberships, European Union, United States, call it whatever you want, but that's the good image of one country. So let's do it, let's make it, let's change it, improve it. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Very important topic. And the EU states now, after the corona pandemic, saw that there is much room for improvement in this sector, but not just on COVID, but on everything.
Yeah.
Thank you. And Nikolina?
Yes, of course, I think that environmental politics and climate change is a big deal and a big thing to work on, but I would also like to mention peace and integration as a part of really delicate and important process. I think that here in Western Balkans, we would have a great opportunity to find a middle point, like let's say a middle where we can meet our needs and finally, let's say, discuss what we are willing to accept and what we are not willing to accept, but with which we can live with. And I think while joining while trying to integrate in the European Union, we will integrate itself. And I think that is the main also idea about with the European Union and Western Balkans, because basically, even though Montenegro is, let's say, as Elma said, like one of the first and the country that opened all chapters of negotiation, we are all standing somewhere like in between, like one step forward, one step back, but we are somewhere there. So I think and that we all need first to solve our problems and then to go together as a package in European Union, because that is the only thing that we can work with. So integration and peace would be for me like things that we should all work on, not just European Union, but by pursuing us to negotiate, I think that would be the most delicate step to join European Union.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You brought up many and various topics: employment, job opportunities, justice, entrepreneurship, environmental issues, healthcare system, education system, travel, mobility. So we have here a really large range of topics and fields that are important for you and also for the countries you live. And now for the end, we also want to know some more things from your personal surrounding, let's say. You got the questions. This was the question I was pushing to the end. It's about how you get information about or from the European Union, and about your family, friends, how are they informed? Because we all know, especially also we in Austria, there's often this debate that we don't have the information from European Union and it's so complicated and you don't get the information you want, or you get so much information that you can't cluster it anymore if you are not a European law doctor. So our interest is, first of all, where do you get your information from, like newspaper or online? Do you think that there is enough information or not enough information? Do you have any media platform, or do you have any institution or politician who is very active on this, like the European Commission or parliaments, European parliaments or politicians in your country that is very active on this field? And a very long question. We know that you are all very well informed about European Union. You studied it, you're working on it, but how do you think is your family or your friends, are they interested and informed about European politics? Yeah, so many questions, but one goal to know. Branka, please start.
Okay, as I'm working for the education university, I can say that I have received and receiving all the time such information regarding the European integration and development of European Union. We also have study programs who are dealing with such topic. But also, what about people outside the academic society? I'm really not sure. I can say that we have such organizations, EU points, such as the EU point in Novi Sad, in every large city in Serbia. So they can inform themselves in those organizations, and also they organize at the, I'm not sure how many times in a year, but yeah, they organize such events, conferences. I think during the pandemic there are so many online meetings about the European Union topic. So yeah, yes, that could be a good example, but well, I think that people in Serbia should still, should work in their education about the European Union and about the achievements also, and the good side of the European Union and being part of the membership. But yes, that would be good. Yeah, good starts from education. That's very important. And also such organizations, as I mentioned before. So EU points, also at the national level, there are so many projects dealing with the European integration. So we have so many brochures regarding the European Union distributed among the citizenship, and also yeah, so many ways of promotion, but also I'm not sure that people are aware of the possibilities and good sides of the European Union. So maybe this is the I don't know, maybe it's just their opinion or interest on this topic. So I'm really not sure. I can say only in my point of view. So yes, regarding the education, it's good, and we are trying to develop it more and to promote more, especially through the programs like mobility programs, capacity building programs. So yeah, I think it's in a good way to develop. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Ariana?
Wait, I was a little bit lost on the way. I'm sorry. Because I was with the little one. Now she's my mother. It's okay. So can you ask me the specific, because there were a lot of questions and answers and...
Yeah, where do you get your information on European Union? Do you think there is enough information or should be more? And do you think that people in your country, your family or your friends are very well informed and interested into European Union?
Well, regarding myself, well, I started to be involved in European programs as Erasmus when I was in high school, so I pretty much have a lot of information. And during Romania's European integration, we had a lot of money on informing the people and especially the youth about what means European Union, the committees and everything. So the people my age know pretty well what means European Union, what it does, how would be helpful for us, and this, of course, about the funds, about the jobs. I mean, I had a lot of, and I still have a lot of people among me who knows what European Union means. of course, if you go to the countrysides, people don't know much. They know that just that we are European country member and that we give money to European Union and get money back, and that's it. Well, I know that that from 2007 till now are a lot of programs and the information desk who developed in Romania in order for the citizens to have this information. We also have, you know, the Romanian website of the, you know, UA informations. Well, but you know, almost every information is like more general. If you want to apply for funds, you know, you need to address to, you know, an agency or, you know, a firm that writes projects. I mean, people know general things and that's it. That's pretty much what. I mean.
Okay. Okay, interesting. Nikolina, how do you see that?
Where do I get my informations? Basically, I get my informations from university where I study. That is like the main point, and from the, let's say, online sources, because it is, I think, the most, let's say, also addictive way to get informations from. And but I have that one conclusion from there. I don't think that EU is doing a lot in Western Balkans to inform people, because I noticed that there is a lot of stereotypes regarding European Union and how it is, what are the values of European Union, what is European Union. I think that there is a lot of people who basically don't know anything about it except the opinion that they heard from news or sources that are really not credible ones and not the ones that we should trust in. So I think in order to gain more trust in EU, we need to know more about it. And we can do that by presenting, for example, EU institutions one by one, because people basically don't know which institutions they have. I think they know if they listen like carefully the courses they're attending to, but it just somehow like expires from their mind. So I think for the basic citizens, like if you want to explain something how it works, you should serve it like explaining to your baby child or your, let's say, grandmother. So in that terms, I think that EU needs to do something to bring institutions and its information closer to all citizens in a way that is understandable for all ages, like not only for youth, not only for, let's say, middle ages, but for all of us. That should be like baby words, if I may say, like in that sense.
Well, depends if you are, you know, if you want to have information, certain information about European Union, you can have as a grandma or as a, you know, and well, the reason they didn't develop until now specific programs for grandmas or for little ones, although the little ones have some little books where they have, like, you know, some songs, all sort of plays. I mean, they have some materials, you know, but they didn't do, you know, much in this direction, because usually people between, let's say, 18, 19 and let's say 40, 55 are, you know, the people who are interested, you know, are really interested, and the people who are involved in programs and everything.
If I just may continue, then yeah. I think that is basically, you gave me an argument why do people don't have trust in European Union institutions. Basically because, for example, we have a lot of older citizens in Montenegro. So if you want support for Montenegro and from joining Western Balkans generally in the European Union, you need people to understand. No matter how old or young they are. If you want only to target young people, then you let young people work on those positions. So basically there is like a point where you don't meet two things. You want young people to understand and to get interested in, and then you want the other sort of people, the other target of people to work on those positions. It basically doesn't function like that. If you want to promote something, you need to promote it on everything. Like either it's a best product or a worst product. You always promote it. Grandmas and the others, okay, if I want to learn more, of course I will do that by myself. But it's like a TV. You present to the people what you want them to see. If you want to see them that EU is doing good on this side and it is promoting some values that we should all consider on it, then you use the media that is like, they say, seventh power and the strongest power today. Which grandma is going to Google about every opinion, to be honest? I don't know any.
Sometimes also the authorities, the local authorities have their, their power, and it's in their power or their will to do, programs or to implement programs about UA desks and so. I mean, I was personally involved in some developing some, information desks about UA, and I know that pretty much it's also, about how interested are the local authorities in doing this. And also I know that it depends on how many funds they are available for UA integration process countries. I mean, if you as a country are in the integration process, you are most likely to receive more funds, because this is what happened to our country. We received a lot of funds before, before 2007, when we actually entered. I mean, there were some years when we were in the integration process, when we received a lot of money on this, on information and informing the population on every level possible about what European Union means. So it's a matter also of a lot of things that, have circumstances, people, local authorities, there are a lot of,
Can I say something? Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, just briefly. Yeah, I would like to say that we cannot impact or change the opinion of other people. We can just say our opinion and think about that, if we want to be part of the European Union or not. But we can do that we can involve our people in such activities, so they can experience the achievements or the aims of European Union, and then they can maybe decide about they should be actively involved in this development, not only to be very well informed. This is my opinion. So I'm involved, such as so more activities, more knowledge of about the European Union. It's not only the promotion materials, I don't know, such as funds. You can be part of different funds, but also to involve them. There are so many projects that can provide people outside the education.
Yeah, you have to stimulate.
People. To take care about environmental fields or topics. Just to be part of actively participate in these activities. This is the main. This is my opinion. So this is the main and a good example how to be not very well informed, but to be actively involved. I want to repeat once again. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And Elma.
Yes, thank you, Stefan. When it comes to me, I get information from various of sources because I'm really strict when it comes to what I'm feeding my mind with. Then the news can really affect our mental health and our perspective towards some things. Even the NATO put the disinformation issue as a first priority because it brings like stereotypes and brings various of feelings when it comes to international relations, when it comes to politics or international organizations. Where I get my information when I want to see something specific about the structure of the European Union. It's always like official website of the European Union. When I want to see how the citizens of Montenegro see the European Union, or when I want to find out statistics how many people are for joining the European Union, I always write to EU Info Center. This office exists in every member state and every potential candidate. So they give really reliable informations and numbers. So I always rely on them. Other than that, if I want to find out some latest news, it's always Radio Free Europe. I think they are really good, and they have and they are strict to the point. It's not a big text, but you can be really informed and updated what's happening right now. And when I want to write some article, or when I want to find out some details, I always rely on major political science journals, which are published in American Journal of Political Science, American Political Science Review, British Journal of Political Science, and so on. There is like 10 major political science review you can find, and you can just download those articles, and they are let's say methodological covered, so that you can find a lot of information regarding European Union, countries, parties, and everything else. When it comes to the Montenegro and how the citizens are informed what is European Union and how it functions, I think it is really good, because we have a lot of NGOs here, and those NGOs receive money from EU to make some I don't know, some seminars, some summits, and so on. And so those people see that the European Union is investing in us, and like everyone, if someone is investing in you some money, that institution or that person wants to help you, and they see that as opportunity for themselves. So I think they are good with that. But the problem Montenegro faces right now is related to identity issues. And this problem can affect the perspective of European Union, because people in Montenegro, they create opinion based on a ruling party, and we see like a priest as a representative of religion. So if you don't respect the priest here, you don't respect the religion. If you don't respect the party, you don't respect the country. It's not like that. It's not functioning like that. So before this, like Democratic Party of Socialists was in power like 30 years, but it's all about narratives. When you hear the news, everything they say, like European Commission is donating, European Commission does this, European Parliament is gathering together. So they did something to inform citizens of all benefits. But now it's not like that. It's like the European Commission will deliver in other countries. The Russia is going to help us. The Serbia is going to help us. So it's about how you exchange this news and how you present it. So that would be my last word for this regard.
Thank you very much. Narrative matters, yeah. And Vjosa, you as a journalist, you are a source for me for reports from Western Balkans, a reliable source for sure. And but how do you see this whole topic, or where do you get your information from, and how do you think the people in Kosovo are informed about European Union or EU policy?
Yeah, okay, thank you, Stefan. I am mainly informed by the official websites of the institutions or international media, and of course, also local media, but I don't trust a lot the Balkan media. I think they are not on the same level like the international media. For this reason, if I want to read, analyze, or maybe deep articles with more information, then of course that I read most of the time the German media. And people in Kosovo, they have the chance to get the information through media, of course, and also they get informations from politicians. But the older generation, for example, that are not on the social media, they get, of course, all the information from the media that are in Kosovo. But I think the people don't have the chance to see how actually the European Union is. They know only the concept or the information just through media, and they don't know how actually the real life is there. And I think they know only in theory how the European Union is or what kind of work they are doing, but they don't understand the other way how people really live and how the whole concept of European Union works, because they never been there, and most of the people, they don't have also contact with internationals, and that is also a problem why the people maybe are not very well informed about European Union. Even they hear always or they see always the news about the dialogue between Serbia and Kosovo, but not what you actually do for other countries, or what they do in daily basis. So this is actually the challenge that Kosovars have.
Okay, thank you. It's very interesting because you mentioned, okay, newspapers, and you mentioned the official websites, and for sure the academic programs. But it's interesting because it's a bit different to the young guys we had some weeks ago from Austria. They all say they get their main information from European Union from Instagram. And no one of you mentioned these kind of social media platforms, or I didn't maybe hear it, but it's interesting. And no one in the whole 4 episodes mentions Twitter, where I get my main information on. So we see everybody has its own sources, and maybe it also differs a bit from regions if you rely on your newspapers or not, and so.
Stefan, maybe I forgot, but actually I use also Twitter to get the information from the profiles of EU parliamentarian, or maybe also politicians and EU institutions. So it's normal as a journalist, if you go to see a statement or something like that, what that politicians published or EU institutions, that of course Twitter is one of the first sources, or where we can get the information. But of course that also the website of European EU institutions and also media.
Yeah. So thank you very much. We are coming to an end after 90 minutes of very fruitful and very interesting discussion. I may summarize shortly. It's about doing more for jobs for young people, promoting entrepreneurship, which also creates jobs and job opportunities, delivering mobility for all European citizens, and free market, justice, environment, and health policy, and improving education information. And the EU has to do more on their own information policy. I think we can all agree on that these are very important topics. I say thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for the inputs. And because someone mentioned about role models, I think you are all the role models, because you worked, studied, and lived abroad, and you are interested and working on the future of Europe, and that is a very positive signal. It's also a very positive signal that it's young women who are active on this issue, because especially for some countries, it's very important that young women are taking the lead in their countries to
Spread the word. Yep.
Yeah, so that's very positive. And I say thank you very much. And if you're interested in our work of the Institute of the Regions of Europe, please follow and subscribe and like and comment and share everything we do on our social media platforms. We are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. We have pictures on Flickr. And we have our regularly magazine, News Regions, and I want to promote our 17th episode of the Salzburg Europe Summit, which will take place from 26th to 28th September in Salzburg as a presence event. And there will be a Western Balkan Forum, where we think all the foreign ministers of the Western Balkan countries will participate, because our goal is to bring Europe together and involve Southeastern Europe more into the European Union, where it belongs to. So thank you very much, and you will find this episode on YouTube. We will send you for sure the link, and we will share it in our community. And thank you very much, and hello and servus from Salzburg. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Greetings from Romania.